Hello and welcome to We Poets. My name is Sally Baker and I'm the host of We Poets. We Poets is a poetry show for boys and girls between the ages of 6 and 13. So if you would like to be on the program, please have your parents or your school teachers call me. I'm always looking for new youngsters to come and read poetry that they have written. I'm also looking for professional guests to come and tell boys and girls and young people something about their careers. And tonight we have a very special guest. His name is Brian Scott. He is the Executive Director of Berkeley Community Media, Channel 28 in Berkeley, California. And he's going to tell you all about this wonderful TV station and something about his background and something about the wonderful programs at BCM. Tonight we're on location though at La Peña Cultural Center in Berkeley, California. So we thank them for letting us use their space tonight. So here we go with Brian. Hi, Brian.
How are you, Sally?
Oh, I'm so great, and I'm so glad you could come tonight.
I am too.
Well, I'm going to start out with, what is Berkeley Community Media Channel 28?
Okay. Well, Berkeley Community Media is actually both Channel 28 and 33. We do public education and government television station in Berkeley. We're a nonprofit 501c3, so we get most of our funding from the city, but we also have a membership program where people can come and learn how to make their own television show, make their own films. So we have training and we have equipment that we can loan out to people. You basically pay a very small membership fee and then take some of the classes that we have, learn how to use the equipment. What we were 6 months ago is a lot different than what we are today.
Yes.
We had a huge change. We were at Berkeley High School for 25 years, and Berkeley High School ran out of room, and so they asked us to leave.
Right.
And so we moved down the street. The problem with that location is we don't have a main studio, we don't have a smaller studio, hence here we are at La Peña. So what we're trying to do now is to develop relationships with other venues where people can shoot their show, just like we're doing here right now. We do training in film production, television studio production, editing, and then we have film festivals. There's a lot of things that we do at BCM. And BCM falls under the umbrella of PEG Access, that's Public Education and Government Television. And we do all three. We put on educational programming on Channel 33, and we also cover all of the City Council, Zoning Adjustment Board, Rent Board meetings, and put them out there for the public to see. Channel 28 is also streaming constantly, so anytime there's a program on the television station, which is Comcast, we also stream on the internet, so people can go and watch us there by going to bcmtv.org. That's bcmtv.org.
Would you like to give the address, please, of where people can contact you?
I can give you the phone number. It's 510-848-2288. 510-848-2288. And people can just call us there and talk to our business manager, Don, or David Flores, who's actually right now behind the controls at the studio, and or Joshua or me.
So you have a small staff?
Yes, we do.
Yes,
yeah.
Okay. Now my next question, well, how long have you been at BCM?
Well, it's been kind of an interesting road. I started in 2000, so I was there beginning in March of 2000. I worked there until 2007, so for those first 7 years. And then at that point I decided I wanted to try to start an entertainment company, which was probably the worst possible time you could start an entertainment company because of the whole thing that happened with our economy.
Yes.
So I went for quite a few years just trying to piece things together, and then a few years ago they decided to ask me to come back. So
yes,
I've been
glad
there
they
ever
did.
since there. I've been there ever since.
Yes, we go back a long ways.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Good. Now, what got you into working at PEG Access?
Well, I've been in the entertainment industry before that. From 1980, I was an actor and director and producer in San Francisco in the theater, and I did some a few little parts in movies and a few commercials and TV shows, and did that for quite a few years. And then in '92, I moved down to Los Angeles.
Oh.
And my wife at the time actually still lived up here, and she started doing a show with a friend of hers at the public access station in San Francisco. So I would come up and help her make the show, and I met all the people there. And then in '96, I moved back here. And when I moved back, I needed a job.
Right.
So I went to the PEG access station, and they had an opportunity to start off as a facilitator, an access facilitator. So I learned how to, and then taught television production and editing and things like that. And then after about a year, my boss left, so I became the operations manager. And then this job came up at Berkeley Community Media, and a friend of mine said, "Why don't you apply for it?" And I thought, no, never in a million years, they're not going to want me. So I applied for it, and they interviewed me quite a few times, actually. It took about a year.
A year?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
They were being very diligent. And then they hired me in 2000, and I've been there ever since.
Isn't this great? And tell me something about your daughter. Your daughter has been on We Poets.
Yes,
Tell me
she
something
has.
about her, please.
She's been on twice. She was
Yes.
on when she was a wee poet.
A We Poet.
And then she was on just last year, I
Yes,
think,
yes.
talking about her adventure in New Zealand. So, yeah, she's 21 now. She's just finished her first year of college in New Zealand.
Great.
And she's planning on living there. She wants to
Really?
stay there. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
And you've been there to visit her?
I have been. I've
What
been
did you
like
like
3
best
times.
about the country?
Oh, that's a really tough one because there's a lot of things to like about it. The people are unbelievably wonderful people. Pretty much everyone's very friendly, first of all. Really nice people. There's actually an interesting fact that I learned after she went there, that there are actually 2 million people fewer in the entire country of New Zealand than there are in the Bay Area. So 2 million people, and New Zealand is bigger than California. So you can imagine there's a lot of open space, a lot of beauty. They've got huge mountains and beautiful rolling landscapes. Everything is pretty much green. And there's probably 2 million more sheep than there are people.
Now, does your daughter plan to go into media, or what's her?
No, she
field?
actually did some things early on, but she is actually taking classes right now. She wants to work, she's taking a class, she's trying to get a degree in criminal justice and early childhood development. So she wants to work with children whose parents have been incarcerated so that she can help them kind of deal with that. She was thinking about psychology, so that's kind of the direction she's going in. She really loves kids. She was an au pair for a year, that first year in New Zealand, so she loves kids.
Well, I'm very proud of her.
Yeah.
Now, let's see my next question. How can people get involved at Berkeley Community Media?
Well, you can give us a call. Like I said, right now we're a little bit different than we were 6 months ago. And 6 months ago, you could come in. We had a full studio. We had classes in field production and editing. Right now, we don't have an editing suite, so basically what we're doing is we're allowing our members to check out computers.
Oh, okay.
And use the computers that we have there. We're trying to find places. We actually did a field production class here at La Peña.
Oh, really?
We've got a great relationship with these guys. They're very, very nice.
Wonderful.
We've put in some of our cabling to use the same equipment that we're using right now to be able to come in here and help them shoot some of their events, which is kind of how we're paying back for using their space. But we're trying to find other ways to teach people how to use our Sling Studio, which is a little portable studio. We have a bigger studio that we're using right now, the TriCaster. We still have cameras. We have 2 FS5s. We've got everything that you need to make a film, we've got it. So it's going to be a little bit different because we're trying to find ways, since we don't have to kind of be at the studio all the time.
All the time, yes.
We're trying to make it so that members can still make their shows with our help. But we're also, for instance, tonight, we're actually going to be shooting another one of the open mics over at the Freight and Salvage.
Oh, yes, I know Freight and Salvage,
Yeah.
yes.
So we've been doing that for the last month or so,
Good.
and we're going to continue doing that. And then our next goal is to try to get things so that we can go live. with the open mic. So, yeah.
So now, do you need volunteers? And if you do, what would they have to do?
Well, they could just give us a call at Berkeley Community Media, 510-848-2288, and talk to somebody there and say you're interested in becoming a member. It's really inexpensive. It's $60 a year.
Oh, that's cheap.
For a resident of Berkeley, and then if you're outside of Berkeley, it's $120 a year, which is still really reasonable when you think about an entire year of using all of this equipment.
You better believe it.
Then we'd have to try to find some way, we're trying to find ways to train people on how to use the equipment so that they can start checking it out. But once you become a member and you're certified on the equipment, you can check out the equipment for free for the rest of the year. So it's a really good deal.
So if people want to become a member, they can call you or contact you right away, right, at this number.
Right.
And you can get them, they pay their membership fee.
Right.
And you get them signed up.
Right.
And then take it from there, huh?
Right, and then we start working with them on however they want to make their show. So
Now, do members have to be a certain age?
they do have to be 14 or above. 14 to 18, of course, they need to have a parent kind of sponsor them and be responsible. But yeah, 14 and above. And we have quite a few interns. There's also an internship program that we have.
Tell us about that, please.
Mike Vaughn is our education director, and basically they could just call the same number, say that they're interested in becoming an intern, and then we work with him to teach the kids how to make things, and they're making things all the time, all over the place. They're making short films, they're going and covering things. We covered the BART Plaza opening, we covered the 4th of July. So we're actually able to do what most people have been wanting us to do for a lot of years, because we used to, for 25 years, we would get calls from people saying, can you come out and cover this event? And we just didn't have the budget to be able to afford the people to go out and shoot as many events as people wanted us to. So now we have a little bit more freedom to do that.
But so now the interns, if they're going to school during the day, they'd have to do this after hours?
Right, right. And that's something that you could talk to Mike about in terms of a schedule.
Okay, okay. Now, is there anything else you'd like to put out that I haven't asked you here?
Well, one of the things that I think is really important for people to know is that they have a community access television station. They should watch Channel 28, see what's out there, because it's the most eclectic programming that you will ever see anywhere. There's all kinds of different programs that we have on. We're still looking for other content. If anybody out there has a film that they've already made, or a TV show that they've made, or they want to put something on the air, all they need to do is give us a call, and we find a way to bring the videos in. We put them on our station, and if they want to become a member, we can actually give them a regular slot that they can come in, that they can have every week. But watching the station, getting involved in the production facility that we have and the equipment that we have, learning how to do that. Of course, we are a 501c3, so of course they can donate money to us, and they can take it on.
Equipment, huh?
Right.
If not money, like.
Oh yeah, and we've actually gotten quite a bit of really good equipment from the community. People bringing things in. They've got something that they bought a long time ago, thought they were going to use it, and they don't need it anymore. Right. So that's another way that they can get involved. And really, just coming down to the station is the most important thing. So that, of course, we can't allow them into the building that we're in right now because we're in a kind of an interesting situation. And so we'll keep going until something else happens. We have no idea what's going to happen. But we actually really like where we're at right now, because we are able to come out and do more productions. So a little bit more work, but when you look at the amount of time we were spending at the station, kind of babysitting all of the equipment and trying to help people to do it, it's really a great thing. We've also got a program called Art Beat that we got a grant from the city of Berkeley, And it's a program about local arts, and it's a monthly program. So we started on Wednesdays at 6:30, Fridays at 5 p.m., and Saturdays at 9 a.m. Every week, every month, we have this show that comes on, and it basically tells people what's going on in the community in terms of the arts, in terms of programs they can see. We've done a show at the Brower Center. We just did one at BAMFA that's playing right now for the month of November. We want to go to Berkeley Rep. We want to do a show at the Freight and Salvage. We want to do a show here. So we've got a lot of different places that we can do it, and it makes it look a little bit different. When we were in the studio, everything kind of always looked like it was the same place.
Right, right.
And now we've got this freedom to kind of go out and do a lot of things in the community, which I think it's a lot of fun for us.
Good.
A lot more fun for us, I think.
And your programs are all from an ethnic background, people from ethnic backgrounds doing shows. So we have people from all over the world that can come here and do interesting programs.
That's right. And the thing that's really good is because we are streaming on the internet, you can see us anywhere in the world.
Yes.
So if you've got a friend in Sweden or in Kenya or wherever, you can tell them my show is going to be on at this time, and they'd be able to watch it as long as they've got internet access. So
Right.
That's really good.
Well, is there anything else? I think we have a few more minutes before we wind out.
Well, what would you like to know?
Well, let's see. Well, I hope we get something real soon so that we can, get into the studio again and feel, like home again.
Yeah.
But I'm also glad that you're expanding.
Right. Yeah.
And my show is for children, of course, a
Right.
literacy program. And I've interviewed thousands of kids, as you
Right.
know.
Right, yeah.
And interviewed many, many professional guests.
Right.
But we're always looking to expand.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that, that's the other thing is that if anybody wants to produce something and they become a member, that they can kind of help us look for spaces, look for other places. One of the main things that we really need is an editing suite.
Oh.
And an editing suite would literally be 300 to 600 square feet is all that we would need. And then we'd be able to put our editing stations in there, and people would have a place to go to edit. In terms of studio, it's really hard to find a place where the problem has been is that we had an in-kind service relationship with the BUSD for those 25 years. So we weren't paying rent.
Oh.
We were just providing, we covered their plays, we covered their graduations, we covered their baseball, basketball, football games, in-kind service to them for the rent. And because we don't have that, we really don't have the money to rent a place out. So that's why the city let us go into the city, to the old city hall, because no one's in there right now. So that's one of the things that we'd need to find a benefactor, somebody who could either pay rent for us or find a place that would want to have in-kind service, the same thing that we had with the BUSD. We talked to people at the Tibetan Cultural Center to try to get them involved and see if they might need it. Right now they're kind of working on a lot of other things, so we weren't able to go any further with that. But just finding places where we can go. We want to do things at the Ed Roberts campus. There's a lot of places in Berkeley,
yes,
that we could do shows, and it's just a matter of trying to get that all together so that we can continue doing what we're doing.
Well, once again, I think we have just a few more minutes before we end. Would you like to tell the audience where they can reach you? And
Sure. Again, the phone number is 510-848-2288. My email address is Brian, BRIAN, @BETV.org. So it's Berkeley Education TV. This is one way to remember it. And we're down in Old City Hall, but you need to call us first before you come down.
And would you like to give a shout out for your employees? I think they're doing a wonderful job.
Yes, I would like to give a shout out to David, who's sitting right over there. I'd like to give a shout out to Ruben, who's standing right over there, and Joshua, and Dawn, who's our business manager.
Yes, yes.
And then Melanie, who is our membership coordinator. She tries to bring in members and gets us out in the community.
Yes.
And then Mike Vaughn, who's the education director. Now, the other person who's kind of our unsung hero is Joe Listener.
Oh, Oh, who's he?
And he is the technician who runs all of the city council, zoning adjustment board, rent board meetings for us. He goes up there every single meeting and sits there for however many hours they talk and covers the whole thing. And he's a great guy. Yeah, he's a great guy.
Well, I'd like to give a shout out to Adnan Toole, my director.
Okay.
I couldn't have done it without him. We've been doing our show for 34 years, going on 35 now.
Wow.
So we'll be having an anniversary coming up pretty soon.
Uh-huh.
So I hope that if we have a new place to do it, we can do our 35th anniversary there.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, great.
So I would like to say to our boys, I'd like to thank our boys and girls and our interns and our parents and our teachers, all the people that have helped us to do this show for 34 years. They've done a wonderful job, but a special thanks to Berkeley Community Media.
Well, and thanks to you, because your show is, is definitely one of those staples that we have. It's
Yeah.
something that you've been around a long time, and the services that you provide, and allowing kids to come on and be empowered to, speak about what they're going through as kids, and the poetry and all of that kind of stuff, and then bringing in professionals so that they can kind of get some sort of inspiration from those people is really important. So.
Well, I want to thank you so very much, and good luck, and we're looking for a good year for 2019.
Yes,
yes,
very
indeed.
good.
Well,
All
thanks
right.
so much, Brian.
Sure thing.
Thank you. Welcome back to We Poets. I'm Sally Baker, the host, and We Poets is on location at the La Pena Cultural Center here in Berkeley, California. I'm going to be interviewing one of our interns who started with us last year, and she's going to tell us all about what she's learned as an intern here at We Poets and something about herself. So here we go with Michelle, and she's going to introduce herself. Hi, Michelle.
Hello, Miss Sally.
How are you tonight?
I'm great. Thank you for asking.
Good. Could you tell the audience your full name, please?
Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle Lee, and I am a junior at El Cerrito High School.
Great. And you've been here working on We Poets as an intern for 1 year, right?
Yeah.
Tell us, when you first started, what were the things that you learned?
Okay, so when I first started, I was really confused because I didn't know a lot of technical stuff, and I didn't have any experience working in this type of field. So when I first started, I was really excited. And when I first started, I worked on camera, I worked on the control board. I was able to learn how to film lighting, how to set up a professional set. And I was able to meet a lot of amazing poets and a lot of guests who specialize in a lot of different fields.
Good.
So.
Do you think that you'll go on, maybe after college, and pursue a career in broadcasting?
Unfortunately, no.
Tell us what you're going to pursue.
Okay, so I'm not exactly sure what my major is, or I haven't decided what I'm going to be in the future, but I do know that I don't want to get into the broadcasting field. I do like it. I enjoyed interning here, and I still do. It's just I don't intend to have a full-time career on it.
Right, right.
But I'm still undecided about what I'm going to do in the future.
Good, good. You have 1 more year in high school?
Yes.
Uh-huh. So tell me about some of the high school activities that you participate in.
So I do sports. I do volleyball, tennis, and badminton, which I all love. And then I do Key Club, which is a nonprofit organization that it's a student-led organization where you do community service and help around the community, and it has over, I believe, 500 clubs across the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so what are some of the things that you do in this?
Key Club?
Yes.
In Key Club. So I am an officer, and my position is a treasurer. So I keep all our club budgets, our fundraisers, the money we have, the money we're going to donate to PTP and MNT, which are sponsors that sponsor us, and we help them give money to kids. We also help them donate a lot of resources to patients in hospitals.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you get to go around to some of the various hospitals and meet with some of the patients?
Yes, so a lot of times we go to hospitals and we actually have kids and they like walk around, talk to the patients, they give them cards, sometimes flowers, a stuffed animal, or like a little friendship bracelet we've made in during our club.
Have you traveled, done any traveling outside of the United States?
No, I have not traveled yet, but I do intend to go to Japan in my senior year.
Oh, that'll be great.
So there's this program that's actually led by a high school student right now. She's currently a senior, and she's intending to take 30 students to Japan next year. Yeah,
Great.
it's to help out with the communities there. It's to interact. It's for us to go to school as well, and it's basically the school is hosting foreign exchange students, and she's bringing 30 of them along.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So you hope to be one that goes?
Yeah, I'm actually one of the ambassadors for it.
One of the ambassadors.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I'm very proud of you. Well, I think we're just about out of time, but I want to thank you and tell you what a wonderful job you've been doing this past year as an intern. We couldn't do the shows without you wonderful interns. And thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to be on We Poets, please call me at area code 510-848-6905. I'm always looking for children to come and read their poems and wonderful interns. So thank you so much, and we'll be bringing you a new show. Bye now.